Welcome to our deep dive into family finances.
Okay.
We're tackling a pretty hefty source today,
Right.
a book called 925 Ideas to Help You Save Money, Get Out of Debt, and Retire a Millionaire so you can leave your mark on the world.
925 ideas.
I know, right?
That's
Well,
quite the ambitious reading list.
Yeah. Luckily for you, we're here to distill the most actionable and, dare I say, surprising
What?
tips.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like you who wants to build a strong financial foundation, not just for yourself, but for your whole family.
It's not just about building wealth.
Right.
It's about building a legacy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the book kicks off with a section on family fun that doesn't require a second mortgage.
Okay.
And I have to admit, some of the suggestions really caught my eye. Like attending religious services as a family outing, even if you're not particularly religious.
that one stood out to me too.
Right.
Yeah, it's not about pushing any specific belief system. It's more about exposing your family to different perspectives, different ways of thinking about the world.
It's like a free cultural field trip.
Right.
You never know, it might spark some interesting dinner table conversations.
Exactly. And the book also suggests exploring local historical sites,
Oh.
using the internet to do some research beforehand so you can really engage with the history of your own community.
That's such a good idea. It turns a simple outing into an adventure, a learning experience for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, when I think about my own favorite childhood memories, they're not about expensive vacations or fancy toys. They're about those simple moments of connection, exploring new places, learning new things together as a family.
Absolutely. And that's a lesson that carries over to finances as well.
Yeah.
Quality time doesn't have to come with a hefty price tag. It's about being intentional, creative, and making the most of the resources you already have.
Speaking of resources, the book really stresses the importance of couples creating a shared vision for their finances. Like having those sometimes tough conversations about retirement dreams and expectations early on in a marriage.
It's like anything else in a relationship. Communication is key. It's easy to avoid those big picture money talks, especially when you're just starting out and focused on the day-to-day.
But being on the same page financially, having shared goals, makes a huge difference in the long run.
It's about teamwork, right? Working together towards a common goal. And that collaborative approach extends to the kids too. I was struck by the book's advice on involving kids in budget decisions related to their activities.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
It's not about just saying no to everything. It's about empowering kids to understand that resources are limited and that choices have to be made.
So instead of saying, we can't afford to do that, it becomes more of a conversation like, okay, we have this much to spend on activities this month. What are our priorities?
Exactly. It helps kids learn to weigh options, to make trade-offs, and to understand the value of money. It's setting them up for financial success later in life. Okay, now, for a concept that really blew my mind, the book talks about this millionaire mindset. And it's not about how much you earn, it's about how you spend.
Right. It's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
We tend to think of millionaires as people who have tons of money. But the book argues that many of them got there by being incredibly disciplined with their spending.
So it's not about depriving yourself, it's about being intentional with your money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think about it. If you save even a small percentage of your income consistently, no matter how much you earned over time, that discipline could lead to significant wealth.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about playing the long game. And the book has some concrete tips for how to do that.
Like creating a budget.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Here we go.
Not the most exciting topic.
Yeah.
But a budget doesn't have to be this restrictive, scary thing. Think of it as a roadmap to help you reach your financial goals.
Okay, that reframing helps. And I'm sure you're about to tell me to throw out all my credit cards.
Well, the book does talk about eliminating shopping temptations,
Yeah.
literally throwing away those catalogs that are designed to make us want things we don't actually need.
You know, those catalogs are like little ninjas of consumerism.
Right.
They sneak into your mailbox and make you feel like you're missing out on something. I'm guilty of getting sucked in sometimes.
We all are. It's marketing psychology at its finest. But being aware of those triggers is half the battle.
So it's not about becoming a hermit and never buying anything fun. It's about being mindful of where our money is going and making sure our spending aligns with our values and goals.
Exactly. And sometimes that means making tough choices, saying no to some things so we can say yes to the things that truly matter.
All right, let's move on to another essential aspect of family finances insurance. The book stresses the importance of having those core policies in place to protect you and your family from financial hardship.
These are the foundational pieces that provide a safety net in case of unexpected events like accidents, illnesses, or well, life happening.
Right. So let's quickly run through the big four that the book recommends: auto insurance, homeowners or renters insurance, health insurance, and life insurance.
Each one addresses a specific area of risk. Auto insurance covers accidents or damage related to your vehicle. Homeowners or renters insurance protects your belongings and provides liability coverage. Health insurance, as we all know, is critical for covering medical expenses. And life insurance provides financial support to your loved ones in the event of your death.
Now, the book makes a really interesting point about auto insurance. It says, don't just meet the minimum requirements set by your state. Consider what it would actually cost to replace your vehicle if it were totaled.
Especially if you drive a more expensive car.
Uh,
It's about thinking about worst-case scenarios and making sure you have adequate coverage to protect yourself financially.
it's that hope for the best, plan for the worst mentality.
Precisely. It's about peace of mind, knowing that you have a safety net in place to navigate those unforeseen challenges that life throws your way.
Okay, let's talk about shopping smart. The book is full of practical tips for saving money, especially on those everyday necessities.
It's about being resourceful, a bit of a detective even, and finding ways to stretch your budget further.
One website that the book highlights is couponmom.com. Apparently, it's a treasure trove of deals and coupons.
It's a great resource for learning how to combine coupons with sales for maximum savings. It's a bit of an art form, but once you get the hang of it, you can save a significant amount of money on groceries and household items.
And it's not just about online deals. The book also encourages us to explore thrift stores and garage sales. Think about it. Why buy something brand new when you can find it gently used for a fraction of the price?
Plus, there's a certain thrill to the hunt, right? Finding that one-of-a-kind treasure, it's like a real-life treasure hunt.
Exactly. You know what else surprised me? The book's advice on buying used cars from individuals rather than dealerships.
It's about cutting out the middleman and potentially saving thousands of dollars. Of course, you always want to do your due diligence, get a vehicle history report, have a mechanic check it out. But it can be a great way to get a reliable car at a more affordable price.
And speaking of affordable, let's talk about one of the biggest budget busters for many families: eating out. The book cites a statistic that the average American eats out 4 times a week,
Wow,
which, when you think about it, adds up really quickly.
that's a lot of restaurant meals.
Yeah,
It makes you wonder, are those dining out experiences truly adding value to our lives?
right.
Or are we just caught up in the habit of it?
Now, the book isn't saying you should never enjoy a meal out, but it does suggest being more mindful of our choices, like maybe reserving dining out for special occasions or trying some of those frozen dinners that are actually pretty good these days.
Right. They've come a long way from the TV dinners of our childhood.
Totally. And the book points out that cooking at home more often can not only save money, but also be healthier. You have more control over the ingredients and portion sizes.
It's about finding that balance between enjoying life's pleasures and being responsible with our finances. It's not about deprivation. It's about making choices that align with our values and goals.
All right, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something that can be very tempting, but also very dangerous: those get-rich-quick schemes.
Oh yeah, the ones that promise you'll be a millionaire overnight.
Right.
If only it were that easy.
The book has some strong words of caution about these schemes, especially risky investment strategies like options trading. It compares them to gambling, where in the long run, the house always wins.
It's a sobering reminder that building wealth takes time, patience, and a solid understanding of how investments work.
It's about focusing on sustainable long-term growth, not chasing those elusive overnight riches. And that brings us to another important theme in the book: the importance of honesty and integrity, both in our personal lives and in our financial dealings.
Integrity is foundational to financial well-being. It's about building trust, maintaining a good reputation, and ultimately living in alignment with our values.
It's about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. And I love how the book also emphasizes the importance of gratitude, appreciating what we have rather than constantly striving for more.
It's a powerful reminder that happiness isn't solely derived from material possessions. It's about finding contentment in our current circumstances while still working towards our goals.
It's about focusing on the abundance we already have in our lives instead of always feeling like we're coming up short. And you know what? I think that mindset shift can be incredibly freeing.
Absolutely. It allows us to focus on what truly matters: our relationships, our health, our passions, the things that money can't buy.
All right, I'm ready for another gem from this treasure trove of financial wisdom. What else does the book have in store for us?
Well, there's a really interesting point about choosing a neighborhood for your first home.
Okay.
The book advises picking an area where the average income is similar to yours or even a little bit lower.
Hold on, really? I would think you'd want to aim for a more affluent neighborhood if you can afford it.
That's what most people think. But the book argues that if you overextend yourself to live in a fancier neighborhood, you're constantly going to be surrounded by people with more money, which can lead to feeling inadequate or pressured to keep up.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. It's about managing expectations and choosing a lifestyle that aligns with your actual financial reality.
Exactly. It's about prioritizing financial stability and peace of mind over appearances.
And avoiding that dreaded keeping up with the Joneses syndrome.
Exactly. It's a recipe for overspending and unhappiness. This reminds me of a quote from the book that really resonated with me. It says, "Don't compare your first home to your parents' current home. Compare it to their first home."
Wow, that's powerful. What a great reminder that everyone's financial journey is unique.
It's about shifting perspectives, managing expectations, and appreciating the journey of financial growth.
It's about celebrating our own milestones, no matter how big or small, and recognizing that progress, not perfection, is the key to financial well-being.
And speaking of progress, the book has a whole section on making smart choices when it comes to buying and driving a car. It basically boils down to your car is simply a means of transportation. It's not a status symbol, an investment, or a reflection of your self-worth.
Okay, I think I need that reminder on my rearview mirror.
Yeah,
It's so easy to get caught up in the allure of a shiny new car.
we all do it.
Yeah.
But the book encourages us to shift our perspective and think practically about our car choices. What are our actual needs? Can we find a reliable used car that meets those needs without breaking the bank?
Right. It's about prioritizing functionality and affordability over keeping up with the latest trends. And remember, always prioritize safety and reliability. Don't compromise on those essential features just to save a few bucks.
Absolutely. It's not worth risking your safety or ending up with a lemon that costs you more in repairs down the road.
Okay. I'm definitely feeling more empowered to make smarter car choices. Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, the book dives into some valuable career advice, especially for those who might be considering a career change or looking to maximize their earning potential.
It highlights the importance of education in today's job market.
Okay.
The reality is that unemployment rates are significantly lower for college graduates compared to those with only a high school diploma.
So investing in education can really pay off in the long run.
Absolutely. In a world with a surplus of unskilled labor, a college degree, regardless of the specific field, sets you apart and increases your earning potential.
It's like having a secret weapon in your career arsenal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the book also emphasizes the importance of choosing a field with strong job prospects.
Right?
For instance, it mentions the high demand for engineers globally.
And it also talks about the consistently low unemployment rates in healthcare professions. It seems like there will always be a need for skilled professionals in those fields.
Absolutely. So if you're considering a career change, it's worth doing some research on the job market and identifying industries with strong growth potential.
That's great advice. It's all about being proactive and making informed decisions that will set you up for success.
Exactly. And remember, it's never too late to invest in your education or to make a career change. It's about finding what you're passionate about and pursuing it with purpose.
Okay, now I'm feeling inspired. But what about those unexpected financial challenges that life inevitably throws our way? The book doesn't shy away from addressing those either.
It provides some practical advice for navigating financial crises, whether it's a medical emergency, job loss, or another unforeseen event.
It's those curveballs that can really throw your finances off track. So what does the book recommend?
One of the first steps it suggests is to create a detailed list of all your debts and assets.
Okay.
This gives you a clear picture of your financial situation, allowing you to assess the scope of the challenge and identify potential resources.
It's about taking stock of where you stand, right?
Exactly. It can be daunting to face those numbers, but it's the first step towards regaining control.
And what about strategies for actually addressing the debt?
The book encourages exploring options, like working out payment plans with creditors, selling assets to pay down high-interest debt, and even considering bankruptcy as a last resort.
Bankruptcy.
Yeah,
That's a scary word.
it is. And it's definitely not a decision to be taken lightly, but sometimes it's the best option for getting a fresh start.
So it's about knowing all your options and seeking professional guidance when needed.
Absolutely. A financial advisor or bankruptcy attorney can provide invaluable support during those difficult times.
All right, let's talk about retirement planning, which can feel like a distant concept, especially when you're younger and focused on building your career and family.
But as the book emphasizes, retirement won't just magically happen We have to make it happen.
I know I should be thinking about this more. So where do I even begin?
The book dives into various retirement savings options, including 401k plans and IRAs.
Okay, wait, back up for a second. What exactly are those?
A 401k is a retirement savings plan sponsored by your employer. You contribute a portion of your pre-tax income to the plan, and that money grows tax-deferred until you retire. Many employers also offer a matching contribution, which is basically free money.
Free money. I like the sound of that.
Right. It's essentially a bonus for saving for retirement. Now, an IRA, or individual retirement account, is a retirement savings plan that you set up on your own, independent of your employer.
So even if you don't have a 401k through work, you can still save for retirement with an IRA.
Exactly. There are different types of IRAs, but the most common are traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs.
Okay, I'm definitely going to need to do some more research on this. But it sounds like the key takeaway is to start saving for retirement as early as possible.
Absolutely. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. Even small contributions can make a big difference over time, thanks to the power of compounding.
Compounding, is that like magic?
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
It basically means that your earnings on your investments also start earning returns, creating a snowball effect that accelerates your savings growth over time.
Okay, my mind is officially blown, but in a good way. I'm definitely feeling more motivated to start taking retirement planning seriously.
That's great. And don't forget about Social Security. While it might not provide a luxurious retirement on its own, it's a valuable safety net that most workers will be eligible for.
So it's like a backup plan in case our other retirement savings aren't enough.
Exactly. And the book advises checking your estimated Social Security benefits on the Social Security Administration website to factor those into your overall retirement planning.
All right, I'm adding that to my to-do list.
Excellent. Being informed is half the battle when it comes to financial planning.
And speaking of being informed, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
From family fun on a budget to retirement planning, we've really explored a wide range of topics.
We've barely scratched the surface of those 925 ideas.
I know, it's a lot.
But I think we've extracted some valuable insights that can help you build a solid financial foundation for you and your family.
I agree. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress, making small changes over time that can lead to big results.
It's about taking control of your finances, making informed choices, and creating a future where you can live with confidence and peace of mind.
All right, before we dive into the next part of our deep dive, let's take a quick break.
Sounds good. We'll be back soon with more financial wisdom and actionable tips.
Great. Welcome back. All right, ready to dive back into those 925 financial tips?
Absolutely. There's so much more to unpack.
I'm excited to hear what else this book has in store for us. Where should we head next on our financial journey?
Well, let's talk about something that can be a real source of stress for families.
Okay.
Debt.
Uh-oh.
The book doesn't sugarcoat. It acknowledges that debt can be a heavy burden.
It can feel like you're constantly playing catch-up, right?
Exactly. But the good news is the book offers a clear and actionable plan for getting out of debt and staying out of debt.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about this debt-busting plan. What's step one?
The first step is to face the music, to create a detailed list of all your debts, including the balances, interest rates, and minimum payments.
It's like taking inventory, right? Getting a clear picture of what you're dealing with.
Precisely. It can be a bit daunting to confront those numbers, but it's essential for creating a realistic plan.
Okay, so you've got your debt inventory. What's next?
The book recommends prioritizing your debts by interest rate, focusing on paying down the highest interest debts first.
So if you have a credit card with a 20% interest rate and a student loan with a 5% interest rate, you'd tackle the credit card debt first.
Exactly. It's about minimizing the amount of interest you're paying over time.
That makes sense. It's like stopping the bleeding first before you can start healing the wound.
Great analogy.
Mhm.
And while you're focusing on paying down those high interest debts, the book suggests making at least the minimum payments on all your other debts to avoid late fees and damage to your credit score.
Okay, so you're chipping away at the high interest debt and staying current on everything else. What other strategies does the book recommend?
It talks about exploring options for debt consolidation. For example, if you have multiple credit cards with high balances, you might be able to transfer those balances to a single card with a lower interest rate.
So it's like streamlining your debt, making it more manageable?
Exactly. And it can also simplify your payments, which can be a huge stress reliever.
Now, I know a lot of people turn to those debt settlement companies when they're struggling to make ends meet. Does the book have any advice on that?
It actually cautions against using debt settlement companies. While they may promise to negotiate with your creditors and reduce your debt, They often charge high fees and can actually damage your credit score further.
So it's like a risky gamble that might not pay off.
Exactly. It's important to be wary of any company that promises a quick and easy fix for debt.
Okay, so if debt settlement companies aren't the answer, what other options are there?
The book recommends exploring debt counseling services offered by reputable nonprofit organizations. These counselors can help you create a realistic budget, negotiate with creditors on your behalf, and develop a personalized plan for getting out of debt.
So it's like having a financial coach in your corner, someone to guide you through the process and hold you accountable.
Exactly. And they can also provide emotional support, which can be invaluable when you're feeling overwhelmed by debt.
Okay, I'm definitely feeling more hopeful about tackling debt. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something that can be both exciting and intimidating, buying a home.
It's a big decision, both financially and emotionally.
Absolutely. And the book has a lot to say about navigating the home buying process wisely.
One of the first things it emphasizes is the importance of getting pre-approved for a mortgage before you even start house hunting.
Why is that so important?
It gives you a clear idea of how much you can afford to borrow, which helps you narrow down your search to homes that are realistically within your budget.
So it's like setting boundaries right, preventing you from falling in love with a house that's ultimately out of reach.
Exactly. It can save you a lot of heartache and frustration in the long run.
Okay, so you're pre-approved, you found a house you love. What else does the book recommend?
It stresses the importance of getting a home inspection to identify any potential problems with the property.
That makes sense. You don't want to buy a house only to discover later that it needs a new roof or has a leaky basement.
Exactly. The inspection can uncover hidden issues that could end up costing you a fortune in repairs.
So it's like an insurance policy against unexpected expenses.
Precisely. It's better to know about potential problems up front so you can factor those costs into your decision.
Now, what about those closing costs that always seem to sneak up on you?
The book recommends factoring closing costs into your overall budget. These costs can add up to thousands of dollars, so it's important to be prepared.
Okay, so it's all about being informed, doing your research, and planning ahead.
Exactly. Buying a home is a major investment, and it's important to approach it with a clear head and a solid financial plan.
All right, let's move on to another big topic, investing. I know a lot of people feel intimidated by investing. They think it's only for the wealthy or that they need to be a financial expert to do it well.
The book actually challenges that notion. It argues that investing is essential for building long-term wealth and that it's accessible to everyone, regardless of income level.
So it's like democratizing investing, making it something that everyone can participate in.
Exactly. And it emphasizes the importance of starting early, even if it's just with small amounts of money.
Because the earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow.
Exactly. Remember that magic word we talked about earlier, compounding?
Oh yeah, compounding. It's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Exactly. So even if you can only invest a small amount each month, those contributions can add up over time, especially if you start early and let compounding work its magic.
Okay, so you've convinced me that I need to start investing, but where do I even begin?
The book provides a clear and concise overview of different investment options, from stocks and bonds to mutual funds and exchange-traded funds, ETFs.
Okay, wait, hold on. Can we break those down a bit? What exactly are stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs?
Sure, stocks represent ownership in a publicly traded company. When you buy stock, you're essentially buying a small piece of that company.
So if the company does well, the value of your stock goes up.
Exactly. And if the company doesn't do well, the value of your stock could go down. Stocks are considered a higher risk investment, but also have the potential for higher returns.
Okay, that makes sense. What about bonds?
Bonds are essentially loans that you make to a government or corporation. When you buy a bond, you're lending money to that entity for a set period of time, and in return, they pay you interest.
So bonds are a bit less risky than stocks.
Generally, yes. Bonds tend to be less volatile than stocks, but they also typically have lower potential returns.
All right, I'm starting to get a grasp on this. Now, what about mutual funds and ETFs?
Mutual funds and ETFs are both types of investment funds that pool money from multiple investors to invest in a diversified portfolio of assets. This diversification helps to spread risk and potentially increase returns.
So it's like having a team of experts managing your investments for you. Exactly. They make the decisions about which assets to buy and sell based on their investment strategy.
Okay, that takes some of the pressure off. Now, how do I choose the right investments for me?
The book recommends considering your risk tolerance, your investment goals, and your time horizon.
So if I'm younger and have a longer time horizon before I need the money, I can afford to take on more risk.
Exactly. Younger investors typically have a higher risk tolerance because they have more time to recover from any potential losses.
And as I get closer to retirement, I would want to shift to more conservative investments.
Precisely. As you approach retirement, you want to protect your nest egg and minimize risk.
That makes sense. It's all about aligning your investment strategy with your life stage and financial goals.
Exactly. And the book emphasizes the importance of having a diversified portfolio. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. It's about spreading your risk across different asset classes, different industries, and even different geographic regions.
Precisely. Diversification helps to cushion your portfolio from market fluctuations and potentially increase your overall returns. Okay, I'm feeling a lot more confident about investing now. But I know there's one more big piece of the financial puzzle we need to talk about retirement planning. We touched on it briefly earlier, but I think it deserves a deeper dive.
Absolutely. Retirement may seem far off, especially when you're younger and focused on building your career and family, but the book emphasizes the importance of starting early and making retirement planning a priority.
Because the sooner you start saving, the more time your money has to grow, right?
Exactly. And it's not just about saving money, it's also about planning for your future lifestyle. What do you want your retirement to look like?
That's a good question. I guess I haven't really thought about it that much.
The book encourages you to envision your ideal retirement. Do you want to travel the world? Pursue a hobby? Spend more time with family?
All of the above.
Once you have a vision, you can start planning for the financial resources you'll need to make that vision a reality.
Okay, so it's not just about saving money, it's about saving for a specific purpose.
Exactly. It gives your saving a sense of purpose and makes it more tangible.
Now, we talked earlier about 401ks and IRAs as retirement savings vehicles. Does the book offer any other tips for retirement planning?
It emphasizes the importance of maximizing your contributions to those plans, especially if your employer offers a matching contribution.
Free money, never going to turn that down.
Exactly. It's essentially a guaranteed return on your investment. And the book also recommends considering other investment options like annuities and real estate.
Okay, I'm starting to realize that retirement planning is much more complex than I initially thought.
It can be, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. The book breaks it down into manageable steps and provides clear guidance on how to create a personalized retirement plan.
All right, I'm feeling more confident about tackling this. But what about those unexpected expenses that can derail even the best laid plans? Life throws us curveballs sometimes.
Absolutely. And that's why the book stresses the importance of having an emergency fund.
Okay, an emergency fund. That sounds like a good idea. How much should I aim to save?
The book recommends having 3-6 months worth of living expenses saved in an easily accessible account.
So if my monthly expenses are $5,000, I should have between $15,000 and $30,000 in my emergency fund.
Exactly. That cushion can help you weather unexpected events like job loss, medical emergencies, or major home repairs without having to rely on credit cards or dipping into your retirement savings.
It's like having a safety net for your finances.
Precisely. It provides peace of mind and financial security, knowing that you have a buffer to handle life's unpredictable moments.
Okay, I'm convinced. Building an emergency fund is going straight to the top of my to-do list. Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's revisit a concept that we touched on earlier, the importance of honesty and integrity in our financial dealings.
Integrity is crucial for building trust and maintaining a good reputation, both personally and professionally.
It's about doing the right thing, even when it's hard or when no one is watching.
Exactly. And the book emphasizes that integrity is especially important when it comes to money.
Because financial decisions can have far-reaching consequences.
Precisely. Our financial choices can impact not only our own lives, but also the lives of others. It's important to act with honesty and transparency in all our financial dealings.
So it's not just about being financially savvy, it's also about being ethically sound.
Absolutely. Integrity is the foundation of a strong financial foundation.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive, from tackling debt and buying a home to investing and planning for retirement. We've really explored a wide range of important topics.
We've certainly gained a lot of valuable insights from this book.
I agree. And I'm feeling more empowered and confident about taking control of my finances, but I have a feeling there's still more to discover in those 925 ideas.
Oh, there definitely is.
Yeah.
We'll be back soon to continue our deep dive and uncover even more financial wisdom.
I can't wait. All right, we're back for the final stretch of our deep dive into 925 ideas to help you save money, get out of debt, and retire a millionaire. I'm ready to unearth some more gems.
Let's do it. We've talked a lot about building wealth, but the book reminds us that it's not just about accumulating money, it's about what you do with it.
Okay, that makes sense. What's the point of having all this money if you're not using it to live a fulfilling life?
Exactly. And the book really emphasizes the idea of using your financial resources to make a positive impact on the world.
That's such an important message. It's about recognizing that money is a tool that can be used for good.
Precisely. It's about aligning your financial goals with your values and finding ways to use your wealth to support causes you believe in, help those in need, or leave a lasting legacy.
It's like taking that millionaire mindset we talked about earlier and applying it to philanthropy.
I love that. It's not just about being a millionaire with your money. It's about being a millionaire with your heart, your generosity, your impact on the world.
Now, speaking of impact, the book also delves into some really interesting ideas about financial education and empowering future generations.
It highlights the importance of teaching kids about money from a young age, instilling those financial literacy skills early on.
I think that's so crucial. We're not born knowing how to manage money responsibly. It's something we have to learn.
Absolutely. And the book suggests practical ways to involve kids in financial discussions and decisions, making it fun and engaging for them.
Like what kinds of things?
Things like giving them an allowance and helping them create a budget, involving them in grocery shopping, and comparing prices, teaching them about saving and investing.
It's about giving them hands-on experience, making those abstract financial concepts come to life.
Exactly. It's not just about lectures and textbooks. It's about real-world application.
Now, I know we've covered a lot of ground in our deep dive, but I want to circle back to something that's been a recurring theme, the importance of mindset.
Mindset is everything when it comes to finances.
Right. The book talks about the importance of adopting a growth mindset, believing that you can learn and improve your financial situation.
It's about shifting from a scarcity mindset where you're constantly focused on what you lack to an abundance mindset where you appreciate what you have and focus on possibilities.
It's like reframing your perspective, seeing challenges as opportunities for growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the book encourages us to surround ourselves with positive influences, people who inspire and support our financial goals.
That's so important. It's easy to get discouraged when you're surrounded by negativity or people who are constantly complaining about money.
It's like that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose your financial tribe wisely.
Now, before we wrap up this incredible deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought-provoking idea from the book.
Okay.
It says, don't compare your financial journey to anyone else's pathing. Focus on your own path and celebrate your own progress.
What a powerful message. It's so easy to get caught up in comparing ourselves to others, especially in the age of social media where everyone seems to be showcasing their perfect lives and financial successes.
It's like that saying, comparison is the thief of joy.
Exactly. It's a recipe for dissatisfaction and discouragement. Instead, the book encourages us to focus on our own unique journey, to celebrate our own milestones, and to appreciate how far we've come.
It's about recognizing that everyone's financial situation is different, everyone's goals are different, and everyone's path to success will look different.
Precisely. It's about embracing our own individuality and creating a financial plan that aligns with our own values, goals, and aspirations.
So instead of trying to keep up with the Joneses, we should be cheering each other on, celebrating our collective successes, and supporting each other through challenges.
Exactly. It's about fostering a community of financial empowerment where we lift each other up and inspire each other to reach our full potential.
Well said. I think that's the perfect note to end on. We've explored so many valuable insights and practical tips from this incredible book.
I hope our listeners feel empowered to take control of their finances, make informed choices, and create a future filled with financial security and abundance.
Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about taking small steps every day towards your financial goals, celebrating your successes along the way, and never giving up on your dreams.
And never stop learning. There's always more to discover, more to explore, more to achieve.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep striving for financial well-being.